service change. The Bible said the man got up on his feet, leaping and jumping and praising God. And when they went into the building, they took the praise and worship from the choir. They interrupted with the preacher. They spoiled the whole service. They turned the whole service upside down. And I can tell you, these holy rebels are coming up again in our churches because God has waited for the pastors for a very long time and nothing is happening. And I can tell you, the pastors, we are becoming worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. No vision, no revelation, no prophecy, no manifestation of the power of God. Our people are still sick and they want healing, and the pastor is telling them stories. Let me ask you a question. When will the church get embarrassed? Listen, we have become shameless. When will we be so ashamed we will go to Jesus and ask him a question? Why could we not cast it out? Why did I have to pray for days and this is not healed, and doctors must go and be injecting a number of injections in the head of a young lady like that? And I ask her, what are the side effects of what you are going to go through? She described it. I said, if this was my daughter, if this was my son, I will pray until something happens. Listen to me, people. We should get worried. A lot of our people are here today on a courtesy call. Courtesy call. I paid the president a courtesy call. That means I wasn't expecting anything as such. I just went just to show respect to the pastor. Many people came here to pay God and the pastor and to pay me and mommy a courtesy call, because you know that when we close this meeting, the problem you brought to church, you will go back with it, and sometimes you will go back with a worse version than what you came in. Can I tell you this? I don't know about you, but when you call me a pastor, I'm embarrassed. Oh, because the one they called pastor, and they called him master, and he said, I'm the good shepherd. When he went into the presence of people, he carried the presence of God. How God anointed Jesus of Nazareth with the Holy Ghost and with power, who went about doing good and healing all that were oppressed of the devil. Apostle Clement, if what you and I see in the church is all we see before we see Jesus one day, it will be an embarrassment, because this is not what was in the book of Acts, and this is not what it was when the master, the practitioner of the pneumaticos and the practitioner of the energema and the energia, when he walked on earth. This is not what he saw. I want to see it. I want to see Barrister Tony Jajira preach and forget he's a barrister and take his coat and put it on people, and greater works than what they see in me is happening in his life. I want to see young men Ayakabasi in Bogatanga. I tell the pastors and I keep telling them, stop reading your notes, stop reading on the screen, stop. You are not in a lecture hall. We are practitioners of the Spirit. And if you want one of the landmarks and distinguishing features of Fountain Gate Chapel and EAM, I will tell you, it is the pneumaticos, it is the energema, it is moving in the gift of the Spirit. Bararosia, stand here for me. Oh. I want to just sit at the desert pastures one day and see a pastor who is not reading. I want to see a pastor who is not reading a book, not reading the screen, not reading notes, but the person is standing here and you can see this person wants to see God manifest himself. People is our focus, and the people who are our focus, they are Wahalians, people with Wahala. He said the gospel, he said, Spirit of God is upon me. He has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor, preaching deliverance to the captives, recovering the sight of the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of the Lord. Magadabasi Arabashaka, Ikrelose, Padiamaha. Bring him to me, bring him to me. I'm interested in that one. Bring me that case. I'm interested. We're looking for pastors who knew where the oil was. Pastors who knew. The wind bloweth where it listeth. You hear the sound thereof, but you cannot tell from whence it cometh and whither it goeth. So is every man that is poor of the Spirit. We just wanted to be there. We just wanted to flow. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit without. And here is Jesus walking about. And the man was a master. Oh, Jehovah. He knew what to do. When they wanted wine, the mother came and told him, he said, Master, the wine is finished. He didn't say go and buy wine. He said, take water and fill the water pots with water. When they came, they said all the pots are full. The master of Energemata Dunamion, Energemata Dunami, he said, go and draw the water. And by the time they drew the water, it was wine. This was a man, the master over nature and creation. Master over nature and creation. A blind man is standing in front of him. People are asking questions. Who sinned that this man was born blind? Jesus said, nonsense. The master is standing here. He spat on the ground. I never knew that spitting can also work the miracles of God. I never knew that spitting has medicinal uses. That spitting has supernatural medicinal power. He spat on the ground. You spit only when you have nausea, and you spit only when you are in the trimester of your pregnancy. He spat when he had to heal the sick. Pour on the ground, mixed the soil, anointed the eyes of the man. He didn't care what the religious leaders of the time said. He said, go wash in the pool of Siloam. And at that time, the pool of Siloam, the priest used to bring the water and pour it on the altar. And they are saying that he will draw water of salvation from the well. But he said, you know what? That is just the spirit of religion. People have a form of godliness, but they deny the power thereof. You go to the same pool of Siloam and wash your eyes. And the man washed his eyes and came back seeing. But today, the average preacher does not know what to do with a blind man. When I hear a Fountain Gate pastor, we invited daddy and he didn't come. I didn't raise inviters, I raised doers. The thing that you saw me do, the things that you see me do the same and you will get my results. Desire the gift, drive the gift, and deliver the gift, and you will get the result. This year I'll be 67. 67, don't clap, because it's 67 years of embarrassment. 67 years of embarrassment. where I see human beings having the upper hand. The disciples of Jesus came and they said, even the devils were subject to us. But I've seen many times when I had to struggle. I have to struggle. If somebody can shout, the power of God will fall on you.